What's the difference between an elder's job description and an elder's covenant, and why does it matter? Could your eldership function better if its unwritten rules were actually discussed, agreed upon, and written? Is avoiding all disagreement a sign of unity or a sign of trouble? How can a covenant help elders handle conflict with respect, love, and unity? What commitment should every elder be willing to make before serving?
Welcome to Gleaning Mustard Seeds with Jerrie Barber. Mr. Barber is a preacher, a ventriloquist, a barefoot runner, and writes 2 blogs. When Jerrie communicates, he encourages people, try not to learn very much. Find a mustard seed. In the next few minutes, try not to learn very much. Look for something you can do to move a mountain, remove a stumbling block, or provide a stepping stone for yourself or someone else. And now, here's Jerrie with this week's mustard seed.
A job description outlines the specific expectations for an elder's role at Anywhere Church of Christ. I discussed this in episode 66. An elder's covenant records how shepherds promise to relate to each other and the congregation in and out of meetings. Family or group rules are usually unspoken, unconscious, unwritten, but understood and contradictory. A better approach is to have our rules, that is, our habits, our usual ways of behavior, conscious, discussed, and negotiated, written, which will aid in understanding, and make every effort to eliminate contradictions. Every marriage is a mixed marriage. Each partner in the relationship, the bride and the groom, came from a different family that has different rules about roles of husband, wife, and children, time, money, spirituality, holidays, dress, habits relating to drugs, alcohol, tobacco, gambling, and other issues, authority, children, pets, conflicts, family secrets, feelings, and how to deal with them. I discussed this in episode 59. Understand that in a marriage, then multiply that by 2 to 6 or more, and it's easy to know why many elderships don't function well. But we don't have any conflict. We never disagree about anything. That's one of the most significant problems I've observed. Many equate disagreement with disunity. They have an unwritten, undiscussed rule: we will never disagree. If that's true, all but one might as well stay home. If the first to speak always gets his way, because we never disagree, the group is deprived of the wisdom of each man and the wisdom of the group that could be enjoyed as each one expresses agreement and disagreement with respect and love. That's the purpose of an elder's covenant. We agree before we've ever disagreed about how we'll treat each other in minor and major disagreements. The following is an elder's covenant used by 2 congregations I know in Middle Tennessee. The purpose of this document is to confirm my commitment to the Anytown Church of Christ leadership and to clarify the interaction of the leadership body. It is preferred that eldership decisions be made by consensus. However, if a consensus cannot be reached, decisions will be made by majority vote. Once the eldership has decided on an issue, I will set aside personal preference in support of the decision. My support will be evidenced in spirit, in voice, and action. If I'm not present for any vote, I will support the decision made in my absence, whether or not I would have voted in the same manner as the majority. Within the eldership, I will be lovingly honest and open in expressing my personal feelings and opinions. When my fellow elders express feelings and opinions, I will listen respectfully. I will respect the confidentiality of matters discussed within the eldership, using appropriate judgment and sharing on a need-to-know basis. I will refrain from making major decisions on my own, realizing that I have no authority as an individual elder. Final authority resides in the eldership as a whole. Accordingly, I will not speak for the eldership without their prior approval. I will treat my fellow elders with respect and as equals. I will not speak in a negative, critical spirit concerning any elder or the eldership, any deacon, or any staff member. I will talk in a positive spirit about the leadership, or I will not speak at all. I recognize the need for the eldership and the ministerial staff to function as a team. I commit to meeting regularly with the elders and the ministerial staff for the purposes of study, prayer, and discussion of congregational shepherding issues, to address congregational policy and decisions, and for proactive planning. I recognize the shepherding, eldering, and oversight roles of the eldership. I will lead by example, by teaching, by gentle guidance, by encouragement, and by empowering staff, deacons, and members to use their giftedness in ministry. Should personal situations such as illness, family situations, or job demands restrict my ability to serve, I will feel comfortable in asking for and being supported in 1. Taking a short-term leave of absence, or 2. Tendering my resignation, whichever is appropriate based on circumstances. Should I take a leave of absence, I will notify the elders and meet with them before re-entering the eldership, ensuring I do so only with their consensus and approval. In recognition that my role as an elder is to shepherd the entire congregation, I will make every attempt to avoid personal bias on behalf of family or personal friends. Should matters before the eldership that may present a personal bias, I submit to the discussion being handled in the same manner as any other situation. In matters of personal bias, I will withhold my vote if it is the judgment of either myself or of the remaining elders that I do so. Although I am a shepherd of the members of this local congregation, I am also part of the flock. As part of the flock, I will submit to being shepherded by the eldership. Should a shepherding issue concerning me arise, I will accept that the majority of the elders may discuss in a constructive spirit, outside my presence, the best avenues of shepherding me. I serve at the will of the congregation and understand that my role may be periodically evaluated for continuance. I also serve with the approval of the eldership. Should it be the consensus of the entire eldership other than myself, at any time and for any reason to request my resignation, I will do so immediately without questioning their judgment. Having read this covenant, I pledge to abide by it. Signature, date, every shepherd shall sign 2 copies, one to be returned to the signer, and one to be kept in the elders' files. There will be a transcript of this episode. One congregation that uses this covenant has framed it and posted signed copies of it at all entrances and outside the room where the elders meet. This reminds them of their commitments. All members are aware of how the elders have promised to relate to each other. Should they violate these promises, the members have the opportunity and obligation to hold them to their signed agreements. If a functional habit is present in any congregation, it's because everybody likes it the way it is more than what it would take to change it. Would you, as an elder, be willing to negotiate and agree on how to conduct yourself in a group and cooperate with other members of the leadership group to maintain the unity of the Spirit and the bond of peace?
Thank you for listening to Gleaning Mustard Seeds with Jerrie Barber. If you found a mustard seed, send a text or email with the link to a friend. This podcast was brought to you by Jerrie Wayne Barber, Sales Manager with AmeriPro Roofing. AmeriPro Roofing has been around since the year 2000 and has had an office in Franklin, Tennessee for the last 10 years. We have installed well over 200,000 roofs nationwide and are excellent at replacing roofs, gutters, and siding. We are reasonably priced and outstanding at working with your insurance, which helps minimize your out-of-pocket expense. If you would like a free inspection of your roof and other exteriors, please call Jerrie Barber at 931-628-3390 for an appointment in Middle Tennessee. AmeriPro Roofing. Standards through the roof. Thank you for listening. Jerrie looks forward to next week as we continue to collect and plant mustard seeds.